Find the domain of f of g of x for the functions f of x equals square root of x and g of x equals x squared plus 4. So remember, f of g of x is the same as this notation here. That means our inside function is g of x. So for step 1, if our inside function is g of x equals x squared plus 4, we need to ask ourselves, what x values can we plug into this function that will give us a real number? Well, for this function, we can plug in any x value, and our output will be a real number. So that means the domain for our inside function g of x is all real numbers from negative infinity to infinity. Now we need to move on to step 2. First, we need to construct the composite function. So f of g of x equals square root of g of x, which equals the square root of x squared plus 4. So now we need to ask ourselves, for this composite function, what would make a real number if we plug it in? Well, since we have a square root, what's inside our square root must be non-negative in order to get a real number. So that tells us that x squared plus 4 must be greater than or equal to 0. Well, x squared plus 4 is always positive, no matter what we plug in. Always positive. So that means that the domain for f of g of x is also negative infinity to positive infinity. So now our final domain is the intersection of these two domains. Well, these two domains are the same, negative infinity to positive infinity. So our overall domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. So now let's try some more examples where the intersection is not the same.